From Matthew chapter 5, verse 13, "You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot." Did you know that there's over 1,400 different uses for salt? Salt was a necessary ingredient in grain offerings and was used as a part of the temple worship service. It makes an effective antiviral against common bacterial and diseases. It was actually used to scrub the babies when they were newly born as a way to invigorate their skin and to protect them. But the two main uses for salt in the Middle East during this time were to preserve and to flavor. Believers are to be preservatives in the world. Through the Spirit, we are to slow down the advancement of the moral and spiritual decay that is so rampant in societies that do not follow God or honor His truth. By standing firm in biblical truths, by promoting His values. Second, salt is a flavor enhancer. It brings out the flavors of the food that it seasons. It makes foods more enjoyable. So followers are obedient to Jesus, and through the Spirit we enhance the flavor of life in this world, influencing the world for good by promoting those biblical values, by showing compassion and practicing humility and generosity and forgiveness, by loving and serving others, including poodles. We make God's work stand out to us just by doing things in the way that He prescribed instead of the normal way of doing things, which makes us stand apart from the decay and the darkness in this current world. And we share His light, His good news. How can we be like salt? How can we be useful and flavorful? How can we be a preserving influence in the decaying world? The gospel continues in verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all those in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good work and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." Light is mentioned over 250 times in the Bible. Light can guide, it can provide energy and warmth, it can alert you to danger, it can disinfect, it can be providing light therapy and healing. It can expose. Light is needed because the world is dark. If our Christianity mimics the darkness, we have nothing to show the world. We can never affect or attract the world to Jesus, who is the true light, by becoming like the world. We are to be distinctive, set apart, a city on a hill. You are the light of the world. It's a great compliment and it's a responsibility. Jesus said He is the light of the world. And now as He is in heaven, His light continues to shine on earth through us, through His church. Our shining is not for others to see how bright we individually are, but to see the grace and love and light of God through us. Are my actions reflective of the God that I love and believe in? Do my actions point people to Him? Do they glorify my Father who is in heaven? Philippians 2:15 through 16 says that you may become blameless and harmless, children of God without failing in the midst of... that you may become blameless and harmless, children of God without fault, in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world, holding fast to the word of life. What do we hold fast to? From where does our light come? What is the role of the church? What is the role of the Christian? Both salt and light are distinctive. They have penetrating properties. They impact and change. Jesus never challenged us to become salt and light. He said that we are salt and light. So we are either failing or fulfilling that given responsibility. Are we reflecting Him in the dark places? Are we adding more of Him and the wonderful fruits that are alive in us through the Spirit into this dark and flavorless and decaying world? Or are we just lukewarm in our response to Him, in our love for Him? It's not about our works, but about His work. We follow Him and trust Him to use us just as He directs. to be impactful, influential in whatever place he has set for us, from the corporate world to childcare, from dishes to depositions. We can be active reflectors of him for his glory. The purpose of light is to illuminate. How can we be intentional about letting his light shine? A city set on a hill is visible. How can we, as Jesus followers, live visible lives, attracting attention to God, giving glory and honor to our Father who is in heaven, so that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven? It's all about our Father. See, it's all about his light that shines in and through us. It's him who flavors our lives. How can his truths, his light and flavor on a more personal level deeply saturate, influence, and flavor and guide our own lives and hearts and minds and all that is within us? In the time of Jesus, salt was incredibly valuable. It was rare. Roman soldiers were paid in salt. That's where the expression "you're worth your weight in salt" comes from. The word salary actually comes from a word that means salt money. Jesus is saying that you, follower of him, you disciple of Jesus, you are valuable. Don't miss that. It's not a small thing. It's often overlooked, it's questioned, it's forgotten, but you are valuable to him and to the earth where he has purposely placed you for such a time as this, for such a role as this, to be salt and light, reflectors of him. He isn't just assigning duties here, that's part of it, but he's reminding you of who you are in him. You are so valuable, follower of Jesus, perfectly placed here in this time and place to reflect him, to show his love and to share his saving grace. May he use you, work through you, bring flavor and light to all you encounter as he blesses and keeps you, shines his light upon you, and grants you his perfect peace.